So we'll probably start in the next 3 minutes. To give another 3 minutes to let everyone in. So far we have 38 attendees. Very good. Okay. Okay, let's make a start. Good morning, everyone. First of all, wish you all Happy New Year and stay healthy. My name is Chris Young from Kaplan, Hong Kong. So today I will be the host today, and I'm really excited to be here today. We are pleased to have Danny Martin, the College Director from Essex College, and also Dr. Matthew Perry and Ian from the College of York International College to give you a tour on Essex and York today. So to start with, if you have any questions during the session, please type them inside the Q&A box below this window, and we will try to answer them at the end. So, so any questions, if we do not have enough time to answer, don't worry. These questions will be recorded and we will answer them shortly. So, okay, let's start. We will begin with Essex first and then followed by York. So let me hand over to Martin. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Chris. Okay, as Chris said, I'm Danny Martin and I'm the College Director at the University of Essex International College. And today I'm joined by one of our student ambassadors, Rashid Al-Saba, and also by Michelle Gibbons, our Learning and Teaching Director. So we wanted to start by talking to you a little bit about why we think Essex is such a wonderful place to study, and we truly are privileged to be able to offer our students from around the world access to the many courses on offer here. So Essex was a Times Higher Education University of the Year in 2018. It also holds a Teaching Excellence Framework Gold accreditation, and when we add this to the 140 plus international students that we have on 140 plus different student nationalities that we have on campus in Essex, and then also the diverse staff portfolio and the strong research links globally, Essex is considered one of the top 5 universities in the UK for international outlook. So international students will be embraced and supported to a consistently high standard when studying at both the college and the university itself. Now we want to share with you a little, a few points about some of our favourite places on the campus itself. So firstly, as you can see, the campus is set in 200 acres of pristine parkland and has lots of wide open spaces for students to use, whether it be for outdoor sports or to enjoy the pleasant local environment and wildlife. The campus has also been voted as one of the top parks in the UK, receiving the prestigious Green Flag Award for 4 years running now. So that's another thing that we're very, very proud to be part of. So the Essex Business School, as you can see, oh, it's just gone, apologies. My computer's gone a bit mad here. The Essex Business School, as you can see here, is the UK's first zero carbon business school, and it's been built with the environment in mind, which goes hands in hand with the school's approach to championing responsible, ethical and sustainable business. Here you can see a picture of the beautiful atrium where you can relax and study amongst some very tropical greenery. Next is the STEM Centre. This is one of the most recent additions on the campus, and it continues the trend of heavy investment in developing the campus to ensure that students have access to cutting-edge facilities each and every year. Essex frequently ranks amongst the top universities in the UK for investment in its facilities, and that's something that we see continuing. Now, although they look a little bit quiet here, the squares are the heart of the campus, and there are 5 courtyards that run down the spine of the campus where students and staff congregate and communicate, where activities and events are held, and it really creates a vibrant environment during the term, and that's something that we hope in the not so distant future that we'll be able to get back to. Finally, the college itself is hosted in the historic Constable building, which is the front of which is visible in this painting here by the famous painter John Constable of Wivenhoe Park. This painting dates back over 200 years, having been painted in 1816. Now let's move over to the college, where we're going to look at some of the coronavirus safety measures that we've put in place. Hello, my name's Danny Martin and I'm the College Director at the University of Essex International College. Today I'd like to give you a tour of our college and introduce some of the COVID safety measures that we've put in place. So before we go inside, let's just make sure that we put on our masks and follow me. Now, the first thing that everyone must do upon entering the building is to sanitize their hands. We have 17 sanitisation stations around the building, so whether students are in the classroom or in social areas, they'll always have ready access to hand sanitisers. Now, let's go look at one of our COVID secure classrooms. Now, before we go and take a look inside one of our classrooms, we wanted to point out that we have guidance for all of our staff and all of our students about using classrooms. So this includes the capacity of each classroom, which changes depending on social distancing guidelines. It also includes what the students should do and the staff should do before and after entering the classroom. The first thing that staff and students need to do upon entering any classroom or office is to disinfect their hands. As soon as they've done this, they need to sanitize their workstation or their desk using the wipes provided. As soon as this is done, they just dispose of them in the bins provided. Finally, in all of our classrooms, you will notice that we have perspex screens. These are in place to ensure that, depending on government guidelines for social distancing at that time, we can have between 1 and 3 students seated safely at every desk. We've implemented a one-way system throughout the building to ensure that all staff and all students can travel safely around the building. This is marked out clearly by arrows on the floors, and also all entrances and exits are clearly marked so that people know which way to go. One of the great things about being a student at the University of Essex International College is that students have access to coronavirus testing through the university's testing programme. This is our college services hub, where students can come and get help and support for a wide range of welfare or pastoral issues. Also, if students are studying online, then they can get the very same service via our virtual drop-in receptions.
Thanks, Danny. Now, whether a student chooses to study online or face-to-face, they will receive the same excellent quality education and experience. Both types of classes will involve collaborative learning to enhance and develop skills, and the active learning curriculum allows students to learn by taking part in various activities throughout the programs. Face-to-face students will learn in an active learning environment in small classes, which also uses additional technology to support learning as well. Online classes are recorded for revision and review, and self-guided or asynchronous learning is part of both online and face-to-face curriculum. This is where students use pre-recorded lectures to complete activities in readiness for the next class. Now, this skill will be used for both university life and beyond as well. Now, I'd like to introduce you to one of our current students who is studying online. Sharif is doing a foundation certificate with us, and he'd like to share a little bit about his experience of online learning.
In the beginning, I was a little nervous. Online learning was definitely something new to me and for many others. and I was very skeptic, and I thought maybe pursuing my career when the pandemic was over. Nevertheless, I still ended up giving it a try, and to be frank, it really wasn't as bad. It's roughly the same education, and I'm grateful and lucky and happy to be provided with a good quality education during these times. I found that with online learning, I was able to combine my professional and personal life together, um, helped me reduce costs such as transportation, and has helped me develop my computer skills, which in my opinion, I believe is better to learn online rather than face-to-face. I think it's important for us to stick together while also being apart during these times. And I think online learning has given us access to good quality education while minimizing risk and sacrificing very little.
And finally, we would like to remind you of our current International Year 1 programmes, which offer great value to students by allowing them to study the first year of their undergraduate degree with us in the college, whilst also receiving support in language and academic skills as well. We've recently launched an International Year 1 in Politics and International Relations, which will give students access to a QS World Ranking Top 30 department. We have more International Year 1 programmes to add to the portfolio on the way. Please watch this space over the next few months for further updates on those.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, great. So now we have some time for some questions. If anyone has any questions, please drop them into the Q&A box, and we'll be happy, either Michelle, myself, or Rashid will be happy to answer them.
Okay, shall I answer this one?
Yep.
Okay, hi there. There's a question in the chat box that asks if we have a Master's MBA program as well. We offer a pre-Master's program, and that bridges the gap between undergraduate study and postgraduate study. So our pre-Master's programs get students ready to learn at that level. So we're helping them with academic skills and also the language requirements for that level. So we can absolutely help get students onto a pathway to a Master's MBA.
And then following on from that, we also offer our foundation certificate programs as well, to give students access to year 1. So just like all the Kaplan colleges, we offer a full suite of programs depending on the student's needs. Okay, so with regards to the tuition fees, it would vary depending on the program and the progression department. But that's definitely something that we can have one of our market managers reach out to you with the information on. Chris, if we can just keep a note of IGO's details, we can make sure that that gets to them after today.
No problem. You could
Okay,
contact
and then
me so I can send you the brochure and prospectus for more details.
Great. And then I think we've got time for just one final question about how students will take exams during digital learning. I think this is definitely a good one for you, Michelle.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Danny. So the exams during this period have been tailored very, very closely with the university, but also making sure, as I said before, that that same experience is found by students online and face-to-face. So exams will be done digitally through a Zoom platform or a Microsoft Teams platform, and traditional exams are now open book exams, which allow students to have access to academic sources to help them answer the questions as well. So nobody will be disadvantaged by being online in this period.
Okay, so thank you very much for your questions. So now I'm going to hand back to Chris.
Okay, the next sessions I will hand over to Matthew Perry from York International College. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you, Danny and Michelle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can all see my screen at the minute, and you should be looking at a beautiful picture of the Piazza building at the University of York campus, which is in fact the home of the International Pathway College. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of York. Welcome to the International Pathway College, and thank you very much for joining us all today. This presentation is largely aimed at those of you who are counselling students and advising them on sort of their education choices. And generally speaking, whenever I'm speaking with students and parents and others involved in this area, there tend to be three sort of questions that people would like answering. Now, if you feel differently and you have different questions, please do feel free to put them in the Q&A box. But normally students and their parents are asking for three things. They want a high quality academic experience, they want a nice place to live, and they want to know what happens next after their degree, be it undergraduate or postgraduate. And certainly within York, we can offer all of these and lots more. So yes, we present a high quality academic experience. We are very, very well ranked in lots and lots of different areas. Like Essex, we also hold a gold award for teaching, which is the highest award you can get. We are a research intensive university, and that research does inform the teaching that goes on. So students at the university do get access to really top-notch research and are right there in the heart of that academic experience. We are also a member of the prestigious Russell Group, which is a collection of research-intensive universities in the UK. The little picture you can see in the bottom screen there is our library in the Piazza Centre. The first thing you'll probably notice, although it's a library, is there's no books in there. Most of our learning, whether you're online courses or indeed at the university itself, much of our materials are now stored digitally, which is fantastic because you can access them from wherever you are in the world. We are a very friendly environment. York is regularly voted either the best place to live in the UK, the friendliest city, the safest city, all those sorts of things. York is really, really well ranked for. And it is a lovely, lovely place to live and work and be a student. We have a fantastic parkland campus. We have lots of halls of residence which are available for international students on the campus. And crucially, we have that guaranteed accommodation for all international students for every year of their study. And I know how important that is to many of you. But York is a really nice place to be a student. We also have extremely good reputation with employers, and as you can see from here, the vast majority of our undergraduate students are either in employment or in further study within 6 months of their graduation, and that's really, really important. The university also offers a really, really broad range of courses where you can do a year in industry or have a year abroad, and there are lots of internship opportunities. And from a student perspective, these are a great opportunity and a great challenge, but they also look really good in your CV and can set you apart from other students when you're job hunting, looking for that first professional role. So a little bit about the International Pathway College, which we often just call the IPC for short. If you take nothing else home from this presentation, please remember this last line here. International Pathway College students are University of York students. The IPC at the University of York is a department of the university. So students are university students from day one. They are taught by university staff and they have access to all the facilities at the university, just like every other student at the university. I showed you a picture at the outset. We have our own beautiful, dedicated, purpose-built facilities. We have our own laboratories. We have fantastic lecture spaces and lots of classrooms and really nice learning and breakout spaces, as well as a restaurant that all students across the university, as well as the International Pathway College students, can make use of. We tend to offer three main programs. We offer foundation, pre-masters and pre-sessional, and we have a broad range of entry points, both in terms of IELTS and throughout the year as well. And at the end of your course at the IPC, you will get an award from the University of York. We are always looking to develop new programs, and at the minute we're working closely with colleagues in our Department of Theatre, Film and Television. We're also working with colleagues in our engineering and physics departments, and also in those in the School of Health, because we're developing new routes into nursing as well. So we're always looking to offer new courses. If you have a student who's interested in a particular course and you can't see it in the brochure, give us a call. We work very closely with all the departments at the university, and we'll see if we can sort a route out specially for you. Michelle's already given you a little summary of sort of the difference between synchronous and asynchronous delivery, and it's very similar here at the University of York, as you'd probably expect. We are currently doing all our delivery online at the minute during the current lockdown, but once lockdown ends, we will go back to our usual mix of both blended on-campus face-to-face learning as well as online delivery. And much of our online delivery is also face-to-face as well. We use various platforms such as Zoom, Google, and we have our own virtual learning environment, which is integrated with the wider university as well. We were very fortunate in York in that we already did quite a lot of online learning. We had a lot of expertise. So whilst the challenge to move online was a significant one, both for colleagues and students, we had a lot of the necessary technology and skills to do that. And actually, many of our students are really enjoying their online learning experience, and it's actually opened up lots of new opportunities for them. So it's a really positive experience for both our staff and our students. We frequently go on at University of York about the importance of academic excellence, and we do really value that to the extent that we offer some very, very generous scholarships as well. As you can see from this top line here, some of these scholarships, if you're on a 4 years undergraduate combined master's programme, can be worth up to £12,000, and we award these scholarships every year. So we really are keen to attract the best quality students, and those students, as well as having a fantastic academic experience, can really earn an attractive scholarship as well. So we are really, really keen to work with students. A little bit about student welfare now. Again, Danny's touched on a little bit of this about how it talks in their classroom, so I'll just say a little bit about what we do more generally within the university. We have our own on-campus testing, and we have our own in-house track and trace system. Just to give you a few figures around that, just before Christmas, in about the 2 or 3 weeks leading up to Christmas, we tested over 7,000 students on campus, and of those tests, only 2 of them came back positive. So that just gives you an idea of how well controlled we are with this situation. Now, as numbers have started to creep up in the UK, we expect to see a small rise, but most students are presently studying online anyway. We have lots of COVID secure teaching spaces, and we are open as a campus. You can still come and use the libraries, and we still have a physical presence on the campus with our student support team, and Ian will say more about that in a minute. We've really been going to look after our students, particularly over the holiday period. All students got a free celebration pack if they were staying on campus. We regularly have welfare calls. Myself and other senior members of staff from the university will call students who are self-isolating just to make sure they're okay, just that they've got enough food and they're getting their medicines, and crucially that they're still attending their classes as well. We've also had technological solutions. We've developed a VPN, so for students in China in particular who are struggling to access some of the online courses, we work with JISC, which is the National Internet Infrastructure for Academic Organisations, and we've developed a dedicated VPN for those students. So lots of very, very proactive things there. And I'll just hand it to Ian now to talk a little bit more about some of the other welfare activities we've got on campus at the minute and virtually as well.
Hi everybody, my name's Ian and I'm the College Services Director at the University of York's International Pathway College. My job is basically to look after your students and give them all of the support that they need through their journey to their onward degree. I'm very passionate about providing support for our students, and I work very closely with Kaplan colleges from across the network to standardise the support and share best practice to make sure that our students have what they need when they need. Here at the University of York IPC, we have a dedicated student services team, as do all of our Kaplan colleges across the network. We arrange lots of pre-arrival support and support for students on arrival. During COVID-19 times, we have tailored our support to ensure that students are safe and they are aware of the latest government and university guidelines to ensure their safety and staff safety. I'm currently based at the Piazza building on campus. We still do have students living on campus, and I am here to assist with anything that they may need. And that may range from assistance with online shopping to information about quarantine and support for anything that they may need. One of the key aspects about providing support for students, particularly during COVID-19, is maintaining that community of students and ensuring that they engage with their studies and still have opportunities to make friends and kind of grow as a student and in their professional development. So we provide lots of different social activities. We run social media campaigns and well-being campaigns. I work very closely with Kaplan colleges across the network. And for example, over our Christmas and New Year holidays, we provided a social event or a virtual reception so students could speak to a member of staff for every day throughout the holidays. We also provided a 24/7 emergency contact number for students to speak to a member of staff if needed. Not only do we provide support for students, we also appreciate that during these difficult times, parents must be very worried. So if any parents want to get in contact with the university and get some advice or information about how their sons or daughters are doing, as long as we have permission from the student, we are more than happy to provide guidance to parents as well. I just want to finish on a short video of one of our current students enrolled at the IPC. This is Sanako from Japan, and she is just going to talk a little bit about her experience during COVID-19 on campus at the university.
Sanako, I'm from Japan. I'm studying in New York for 3 months, and now it's a very difficult situation because of COVID-19, but I very can enjoy as much as possible. Then I joined the Green Impact team, and I had one activity. It's wasted food lunches, and really enjoy a lot, and I study a lot. So it's very good opportunity for me. So I hope I could more enjoy the New York.
So Sanako is part of our Green Ampic team. And she's been running online cooking sessions for students to share her recipes to save the environment. So that's it from me. So thank you very much for attending, and we have just a minute left. So if anybody has any questions, please do put them in the chat.
Yes, I can see 2 questions from the Q&A. First is, how is the progression rate from the students who were finishing online last year? Did they perform to university?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And the progression rate overall last year was 90%. It does depend slightly on which course you're on, but it was a very strong progression rate, and students really benefited from all the additional support we put in place. So we were very pleased with the student performance last year. I noticed the second question there as well. Do students make their own accommodation college choices? When students are studying with the IPC in their first year, they get a more limited selection of colleges, and students are then after that free to make their own choice. However, there are certain colleges on the campus, for example Wentworth, which are aimed at particular groups of students. So Wentworth, for example, is for postgraduate students only. So there is a choice there, but it is a limited choice.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. So due to time constraint today, we need to stop here. So thank you everyone today. I hope you enjoyed these sessions. If you have any further questions or interest to apply for coming autumn intakes, please contact one of your agents or market manager as soon as possible. It is always to start your application earlier in this year. Also, I would like to remind you that we have just launched a short-term foundation 6 months and pre-master at Essex for Humanity and Social Science 2-term program starting this March until the end of August, and we'll progress to September this year. So this is a 6-month short-term foundation. So the student can apply with a STSV visa. So if you are interested, please contact your market manager as soon as possible. So, okay, we should stop here. Thank you everyone today. Keep safe and have a good day. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.